Hi, it's Lonnie. Welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. Today I want to show you something that I made with Rachel at Roxy's Creation. And she's doing some slow stitching. I think it's on Wednesdays. A journal of stitchery or something to that effect. I'll link it below. She started a heart, I guess, over a week ago now. And so I decided I wanted to do the same. I don't have the same fabric, obviously, as she has, so I used what I have, and I just kept adding things until I think I'm happy with it, and I'm going to call it pretty much complete. There's not much room on here unless I put something on top of something else yet, but I think I'm going to call it good. But I wanted to show you what I did. So I took one fabric shaped heart and I put smaller pieces on top, and I just kind of made a fabric collage, and then I stitched those down, just hand stitched, tacked them down so they wouldn't be too visible. Then when that was complete, I stitched around the whole heart with my machine. Now I wouldn't have had to do that, but I wasn't sure how I was going to use this heart, so I just wanted to make sure the edges wouldn't fray too much. And then I found some goodies that I added to the top. So I added a butterfly and I stitched down the bottom of it so it looks a little 3D. And I had this, this is all fray from this material here. They were just really long pieces and I was able to tie a bow, and so I attached that. The tails are pretty long, so I tried to tuck them into the pockets here so they wouldn't hopefully catch on too much. The doily is actually 2 pockets. I attached the outside, but I also attached this. And so there's a small pocket here, and there's a bit of a larger pocket here. Then I made these beads. I just started sewing and put the beads on, and then I stopped sewing over here, and I don't know, I like them. I don't have a lot of beads, but I thought these kind of went with the overall color scheme, pretty neutral. I did that on purpose because I like neutrals. And then I added some lace here, and I put it kind of in the roundabout here so that I kind of wanted it puckered, but I wanted it to follow the line too, so I picked that lace specifically because it did that nicely. Then I took some metallic thread and I made like little bird's feet stitches along the one piece. Now this thread kept splitting on me, so I didn't do more than just this one line. Need some better thread for that, I think. Then I had this really nice gold thread from, I think it's Gutermann. They're kind of pricey, but judging by my results here with the gold thread, it's a lot better quality than some. I just did parallel stitches, just a few of them to give the indication of some shine and some gold. And I don't know, I could probably do it in some more places, but at this point I think I'm happy with it. And so I was looking at it thinking, okay, what can I do with it now? And then I remembered this fabric book that I had started. And how neutral is that, right? So I was thinking I might attach this heart here. I don't know, I can't really decide this way or that way. I think I decided kind of this way. Not a lot of the lace will show. That's too bad though. But I do like it, and I think that's how I'm going to attach it. Now, this is where it will come in handy that I didn't do a really great signature in here, because I can just pop that out later and continue finishing and working on my pages and then put it back together later. In fact, I have one of my postcards in here that I made the other day, and also the other one over here. So now I'm out of pockets inside of here, but I also want to include this picture that I made, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. If I could probably put it in as a split page and then maybe make this a pocket. I haven't decided yet, but that's what I'm working on, and then I will put that in sometime. I'm not sure when yet, but just to give you an update on what it is I'm working on. And then I also decided that I wanted to slow stitch a heart just with white on red. And so I have some fabric scraps. That's all I'm using here. And so I decided I wanted to just start. I'll start this with you today and see if anybody else is interested in doing this. I'm still getting familiar with the with how everything feels and how it lays and how it moves. Still getting familiar with the size of how to make stitches the right size, and I think that's why I like slow stitching, because it's very forgiving and there's really not a right and wrong. So with this heart, I basically wanted to do white on top of red, and I just want to fill this up with stitches. And I'm trying to do like a running stitch right now, so that's basically just weaving in and out. And so I kind of made a line there, and so I'm going to try and follow that line. I'm not going to try and make the stitches all the same length necessarily, because I kind of want them staggered anyway, so that should work out. And then I'm just playing. I'm really enjoying doing these projects, because there's not really any expectation, and you don't know the result of it until you decide that you're finished. So you can just keep going. And I think that's kind of what we do with journals too, is we just keep going until we're happy with them, and then we decide when it's complete. So I mean, sometimes it's nice to have a plan, but sometimes too it's just nice to have not so much of a plan, just the desire to do something. And so that's what this is for me. I just want to do, and then let my supplies kind of give me inspiration and set forth the new course. Like I had these scraps because they were from t-shirts and such that were no longer being worn because they were too small and worn. but there's nothing wrong with them as scraps, and why not use them for something like this where they will still be useful and they can still look pretty too. So what I'm doing here is kind of just spreading out the cloth or the material so that it doesn't scrunch up too much. And then I turn it. I put my work into a hoop because otherwise it's kind of floppy. It flops around and then I find it hard to hold it. So you could do this just holding it in your hand if you wanted to. Sometimes I do that if the fabric is of a certain stiffness, then it's easier to just hold it in my hands. But in this case, it's one t-shirt material on top of another t-shirt material, so then it needs a little stabilizing. So there I did pretty much the whole row. I had the whole row on my needle pretty well. And then I have to give it some shape again. I think this will be a good practice piece, if nothing else, because I am still practicing and I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm finding it easier to turn it around, I guess because I'm right-handed. So it's easier to approach it from one direction as opposed to the other. Sorry, I probably can't see very well. I used the white thread partially because I thought it would be easier to see. But if my hand is on top of it, then you can't see it anyway. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to finish this and then I'll show it to you when it's done. Okay, so I'm getting closer to the end now. And as you can see, it's filling up nicely. I'm pretty happy with it considering, like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of this. And I'm just going to keep going. I do hope you'll maybe consider giving this a try if you are interested at all. And I hope you're doing well aside from this. Whatever comes to hand today, I pray you have success and that you're doing well. If you are interested, I think I forgot to mention that I'm doing this project with 3 strands of thread at once, just to give it a bit of more of a bold, more visibility, I guess. So I think that's about it. It's not perfect, and that's fine. It actually has some texture because of how it's puckering, so I kind of like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep working on it and do something else with it yet, or if I'm just going to trim it out and put it somewhere, maybe in a journal, maybe in my fabric book. That's the beauty of these things. You can just keep playing with them till you're done and then give them a home somewhere. So that's the back side. And I'm just gonna put a knot in the back. So yeah, hope you enjoy yourself today. Maybe do something fun. Maybe go outside, enjoy the spring if you have it. So there's a little heart, and then there's my big heart. It's very hearty. All right. Thanks for joining me today, and God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.